Hello, Radzi and Ken here for day 4 of Champion of Champions. And if you missed any of the action from yesterday, it truly was fantastic. And let's have a massive reminder of what went on.
The Jester from Leicester and the Belgian Bullet kicked off Group 4 of 888 Sport Champion of Champions. And if you ever need a player to grind out a result, Mark Selby's your man, as he proved in beating Luke Bressel 4-2 with a high break of 53. Warrior Kyron Wilson and on fire Stephen Maguire were next up. Both have won ranking events here in Milton Keynes over the last few months. Wilson at the Championship League last week. And the Kettering man brought his title-winning form with him, eliminating Maguire 4-1 to meet Selby in the group final. The Warrior was on a roll and kept on rolling, leading 4-0 at the mid-session. But he had a fight on his hands as Selby dug deep and hit back to cut Wilson's lead to 4-3, before the Kettering man benefited from a fluked red which helped him move to 5-3 in front. Selby though is known for his graft and grind and forced the decider before equaling his best break of the day to advance to the semi-finals where Neil Robertson awaits.
And now spare a thought for Kyron Wilson.
60.
Knows his fate. Post-midnight misery.
61.
It's not been a heavy scoring night for Mark Selby. Every chance here he could make
66.
his highest break of the match.
$67. $74. Mark Selby, 74.
What a comeback that was, Ken. 4-0 down, you think it's over, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. Kyron Wilson was doing a Selby on Selby and totally dominated the first 4. I was in the commentary box and Selby missed a couple, but I mean, Kyron Wilson's safety, his long potting, his break building was all like top notch and a complete match play sort of masterclass in those first 4 frames. But funny enough, at the break, I was up with Selby on the practice table and I was talking to him about the pinky miss in the first, and he was saying how confident Kyron is. And I says, yeah, I says, but he shouldn't be any more confident than you. You've won the World Championship 3 times, you know, you've been world #1 for six times, you know. How can he should be more confident than you know? He says, yeah, no, I say, I'm feeling all right, you know, I'm feeling all right. And then he went back and then he said, if I can win these first 2 frames, he said, I'm back in the match. And that's exactly what he did. He won the first, and I mean, his belief, his self-belief, you know, his determination, his match play instincts of his own. He never gives in. He's everything you want in a snooker player. He is the quintessential snooker player for sure.
But for Selby to win 6 of the last 7 frames, knowing that he had to do that to have any chance, and he did it, when short format, it was unbelievable.
It was, yeah, and particularly against a guy who's been in top form, you know, winning the Championship League, you know, he's full of confidence, 4-0 up, he's potting long balls. So it was so difficult for him to do that and unimaginable after seeing that first 4 frames. But in any sport, Radzi, you have to have belief, you have to have self-belief. When you go out on that table, every frame is different. That's the great thing about snooker. When you're at that table, your opponent is sitting in that chair, he can't do anything while you're there. So if you can dominate that table, then you're okay, and you take 1 frame at a time, and that's exactly what Selby did. And he had the belief, he had the know-how, and he had the game to come back. And not many players in the world would be able to come back from that deficit.
Is there something about Selby? You know he's a grinder. You know what he can do. Is there a sense of, oh no, here we go, it's Selby doing what Selby does best?
Yeah, I think that sort of dawned on Kyron Wilson, particularly those last few frames, because he went from being so good to being so bad. Yes. I mean, he missed an awful lot in those last few frames, and that will hurt Kyron Wilson. You know, that's something that he'll have to see. Why did his game crumble so much? Or was he getting tired? It looked like he was drained a little bit. He was looking up to his brother up on the balcony, saying, like, you know, I'm just not playing good. Like, you know, it just completely capitulated.
But one thing Kyron did manage is the shot of the day as voted by you. So every day we ask you to choose from 4 shots on Twitter which you think is the best. You voted for Kyron's snooker. It was at the baulk end, Ken. He comes down, hits the red, goes behind the black and manages to get it tight behind the green. That was pretty special. It
was very special, and he sort of didn't have to use any side because he's tight on the ball cushion. So what he was using a natural angle that the cue ball was going to take, and the natural angle was, you know, just to miss the black, which he had to do very delicately, off the side cushion, other side cushion, up behind the green. Perfectly played, and beautiful weight of cue ball as well.
In terms of when you mentioned the weight of cue ball, how key is that in order to get that position?
It's very, very key because the cue ball has had to travel, you know, almost 11.5 foot down the table, then, you know, 12 foot back and maybe a little bit more because it's come off the cushion. So it's travelled quite a distance. So the weight of cue ball is so important, and he cued it beautifully and perfect behind the green. Great shot. And
bridging over the cushion when he's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Bridging out, when you're bridging over the cushion, you can only see the top part of the cue ball. So the cueing has to be almost perfect, and he couldn't have hit it any better.
Well, Kyron did manage a shot of the day. He didn't, unfortunately, manage to progress through to the semi-finals, but here's what the winner, Mark Selby, did say straight afterwards.
Mark, quite simply, how do you keep on doing it?
I don't know. But no, to go 4-0 down, I didn't play great. I missed a few long balls, but every credit to Kyron, he played well and deserved to be 4-0 up, you know. I mean, potted some unbelievable long balls. Every time you leave him a long one, you just expect him to pot them. But after the interval, he kept going from him, and he obviously wasn't potting them, and that sort of changed the match, I think.
But he had that monster fluke out of a snooker to make it 5-3. That would have floored virtually everyone apart from you.
Yeah, I mean, I still had a chance at the black to go 4-all, but then I'm playing the black thinking, well, I should never even be having a shot at this, you know. I should have been 4-all from the good break I've made and then put him in a snooker. As you say, losing that frame was a bit of a sore one to take, but yeah, I thought to myself, you know, just go again and dig your heels in, and that's what I managed to do.
It's been a cracking start to the season for you. To win the Champion of Champions, if you could do that, that would make it a fantastic start.
Yeah, it'd be great, you know. I mean, I'll put this up there with the Masters. It's a fantastic tournament. It's only the second time I've been to the semi-final, as Rob Walker keeps telling me, in 7 years. So I'll look forward to it.
Well, you've heard of the $6 million man. You're now the £6 million man, because in total prize money for your career, you're over £6 million. And tonight you were bionic.
Cheers, Phil. Thanks a lot.
Ken, so interesting from the jester. You'd expect him to be elated and once again almost doing what he knows he's capable of. You mentioned digging his heels in. He did exactly that. Yeah,
he did, yeah. And as I said, he's one of the very few players that could actually come back from that position. John Higgins, you would say, is probably another one. People who have self-belief and never give in. And, you know, we have a term in snooker that you're going to have to scrape them off the table, and that's what you would have had to do with Mark Selby. Whether he's playing at his best or whether he's playing at his B game or his C game, you've got to put him away when you get your chance. If you don't, it can come back to haunt you. And you know he's never going to give up. You know he's going to dig in, as he said, and that's exactly what he does best, and a magnificent performance.
Can you learn that, or is that something just in you?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest, because it's in your makeup. Because some players you would see that would never ever come back from 4-0 down, that they would throw the towel in, basically. There's a few players come to mind. I'm not going to say on camera. That wouldn't be very nice. But yeah, a lot of players would sort of throw the head, as if throw the toys out of the pram, as if everything is going against them. They would never be able to come back from 4-0 down against Kyron Wilson. But he is one of the few players who can come back.
I guess kind of on the flip side of perhaps your head going means that it's those players that can make magic when it's going really well.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's not going well, it can all fall apart.
Yeah, I think it's part of your DNA, you know. It's something that you cannot teach, you know. It has to be inside you, that you may be able to learn to be toughen up as you go along as a professional, but you have to sort of have it inside you to be able to have the courage and the confidence also, and the fact that, you know, digging your heels in, to have that sort of in your makeup. It's a very special thing to have in any sport.
But do you have the courage and confidence when you've got 9 darts to score as many points as you can? Judd Trump, the world #1 in snooker, is currently leading our table. But how will Mark Allen, who's playing today, by the way, how will he fare when he's given 9 darts himself?
Whenever you're ready, Mark, take it away, mate.
45.
Last 3.
Ah, 44. What was that? Apart from rubbish. 44, 45, 22.
So big Mark, number 3 on the board, but many more players to take on the challenge of 9 darts. Mark will be playing today. We'll talk about him in just a second, but not before Ken. We go back to our predictions from yesterday. So as things stand, based on Monday and Tuesday, I'm 2-0 up on points. Overall,
Okay.
can you come back? So let's remind ourselves. The first match,
Selby, Brissell.
you went,
Selby.
I went Selby. Our survey said,
Ding.
good. Second match,
I went Maguire.
Yes.
You went Wilson.
I went Kyron. Let's find out with Maguire. Wilson,
Ding.
get in. So the head-to-head, I went Wilson,
And I went Selby.
and our survey said,
Ding.
which means, so that's 2-1
Yeah.
on yesterday. Net 1, I was 2-0 up, so there's just 1 point in it
Still
now.
Yeah. Still a bit to go though. We still got the whole
There
week
is.
to go. Yeah.
Well, we can possibly make it up
Yeah.
today.
You didn't mention the table tennis yesterday, by the way. You forgot. Did that just slip your mind?
Do you mean the time that I finally beat Ken Doherty whilst I was 15-2 up and he clawed it back to 20 or that genuinely happened? No lights were broken this time. So predictions for today.
I think I'm going to win.
Yes. I think you're going to win too. No, I'm going to have my mind in no messing around this time.
Okay.
Coat's coming off.
The matches today, fantastic group today we have. We have the Rocket, back,
Yes.
world champion, of course, playing Michael Holt, who won the shootout. That's going to be a fascinating encounter. And then we've got Mark Allen, of course, against Scott Donaldson, who won the Championship League. Everybody would point towards an O'Sullivan-Mark Allen final.
Yep.
And you would have to say that on form. But as we said before, this short format, you know, Michael Holt may have a sniff against O'Sullivan.
The hitman.
But I'm not going to go for him. But he may have a sniff. Just like Scott Donaldson may have a sniff against Mark Allen. But I'm
you're
not
not
going
gonna
to
go
go
for
for him. No. So my predictions are Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Allen final, and Ronnie O'Sullivan to prevail.
Okay, I will go Ronnie O'Sullivan, Scott Donaldson final. Ronnie O'Sullivan to prevail.
Okay.
We can't bet against the Rocket.
No,
Just
very
can't do
difficult,
it.
very
he
difficult.
loves Champion of Champions. He loves winning. He always wins. Doesn't always win. Often wins. And so this is anyone's guess.
I think it's going to be great to see him back because he hasn't really sort of started the season since he won that World Championship. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out and plays today.
But it also means that if Scott Donaldson wins, I go 2-0 clear.
Yeah.
If Mark Allen wins, we are level pegging going into Friday.
Yeah. But I'm still 3-2 up.
Yes. Who's counting? Who's counting?
I am.
Let's get on the table right now, but make sure you don't miss the action on ITV4 as well as DAZN as well. The snooker on that table, by the way, it's just one table. All the action is on that table behind us and it's not to be missed. See you tomorrow.